What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Two Horseman Podcast with your boy Mars, aka Marlon Beardo, the bearded weirdo, the bearded one, and I'm here with my brother, the wise man, Big Gerald, the Pharaoh of Christian Mingle, and of course, we're back with the best there is, the best there probably will be, the best you may have ever seen, the one and only Cal Jones from Cal Jones Sports Unfiltered. And welcome to a live edition of the Two Horseman Podcast. Everybody give yourself a big round of applause. How y'all doing?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
We are going in. We are going to get it in today. We have a litany of topics. But before I continue to run my mouth, I got to ask my brother Cal Jones, how's it been and when are we going on Blow the Whistle Sports? We're ready to come back for some more adventures. Let the people know.
Been good. Relaxing in the booth. Trying to get the show revamped. So Sunday, we got some news going on this week. So I think Sunday is perfect. So I gotta get with Big Gerald, Mars. We already decided something. See what we're gonna do. We're gonna cook something up.
Absolutely. So we're gonna bring that to you because it's not just sports and entertainment. It's sports and entertainment. We do it all here. So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to give a brief moment of silence. I know Cal Jones is going to be shocked for how long this man's career is, or shocked that his career just ended. But the one, the only, the icon, Sting, has retired. That's right.
I knew it. I knew that was the response. I knew that was gonna be the response right there. I knew it.
Oh, this thing like the scene that I grew up on.
That we all grew up on, absolutely.
I can't do this. All right, my bad. All right.
But congratulations to a 39-year career. This feels crazy because Big Gerald's not even 39.
I am 39. Yeah, I'm 39.
Cal just left 39. So pretty much since all of us, before we were talking, Sting has been in that damn ring and he just retired after 39 years. Congratulations to Sting. But I did have a clip that I wanted to get to because Sting, you ain't got to do this, man. You did not have to do this on this run. And his partner is a crazy guy. So I don't know if Cal has seen this clip, but I'm going to play it for you guys.
Little retribution, little payback. Across side, Stinger splash. Stinger splashes all around, a coffin splash enough. Adam is mostly high. Darby. Rick, get out of that.
And yes, that was Ric Flair and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat getting kicked in the face. So, who wants to chat this one first?
Let Cal go first. Let's get it out of the way.
Flair and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat getting kicked in the face in that match. So, what do you think about the legendary icon?
I'm confused. I'm worried. I'm shocked. I'm speechless. Was that real glass?
That was indeed real glass. In the words of Jack Perry, real glass, cry about it.
And when this thing jumped through real glass, I'm trying to like figure out what's to tribute this thing for jumping through real glass. He did that before?
No, so his tag team his tag team partner was supposed to be jumping on one of the people that they were wrestling in this final match because it was a tag match. And as he was beating his chest, the dude had already gotten off the glass. But he continued and jumped anyway. And I was like, why?
Was he trying to die? I mean, I'm just confused. Was he not going to get paid if he didn't jump through the glass? Can somebody please explain? I don't know, man.
So he could have changed his mind once the dude from the other team got up And I don't know if it was supposed to be a spot where the other person was supposed to get up at the last second. You know how sometimes when they jump and they go through a table and the person moves,
Mhm.
but this dude had clearly gotten up. He was like nowhere in the shot, and you jumped anyway. I don't know. I'd have got down. I guess he was just dedicated to it. But no, if we're talking about the match, first of all, congratulations to an icon, literally, of the business. I'm not one to decide how long someone should go in the ring. That is not my place. If you feel like you can do it, by all means. But he's in his 70s now, and I think this road is over. Um, the Dragon and Ric
You
Flair
think?
taking super. Yeah, like I
You think
said,
it's over?
I'm not here to judge. We've seen people come out of retirement for less. Let's just call it for what it is. Ric Flair that came out of retirement how many times? All
At
I'm
least
saying.
at least 6 in my lifetime.
So I mean, you just never know with wrestling. And he got the send off. His sons was dressed like him. Of course, you seen Surfer Sting, the one Cal Jones was used to. We seen Wolfpack Sting. Those were his sons. They were fully grown, by the way. Ric
God,
Flair.
are they senior citizens too?
I mean, they at
They
least our age. Look,
got to be.
they got to be in the mid-30s, easy. Unless he started, even if he started late,
They in
in
their late 20s.
their late 20s. So
So we're talking about Ric Flair, who at 2 years ago, we thought he was out of here. They had done wished him well. Now he in the ring taking super kicks. Like some things you just should stop. Again, icon, wonderful in the business. Shout out to the tag team that they went against the Jacksons, Matthew and Nicholas, who carried the match. Who are also the executive vice presidents of that brand. Um, Darby Allin is insane. Once the spot was over, once they messed that up, you don't jump through that glass. There's nothing to gain from jumping through the glass for him. You lost your tag team partner, so you're gonna have to be a singles run on the singles run now, and you put your career in jeopardy jumping through glass and chairs, might I add, onto the concrete floor with nothing to show for it other than the fact that they didn't even do the holy shit chants that they normally do. They was like, huh? That's all anybody did.
I'm gonna play it again because I wish I had the ability to slow it down. When you see this jump, like Big Gerald said, clearly they were gone because I
No one.
accidentally cracked like my screen door and moving something in, and it shattered glass, and I was cut the hell up from a screen door. This guy's jumping through glass, real glass, but look how clear and free this airport landing was for him.
Little retribution, little payback.
A plus size Stinger splash.
Stinger splashes all around, a coffin splash, and up. Adam is
Perilously high. Darby.
Rick, get out of that.
There's so much wrong with that. And I'm going to blame this strictly on Tony Khan. Somebody has to put their foot down and be like, no, you can't jump through glass. No, you can't kick 75-year-old men in the face. No, you can't. And I know a lot of wrestling podcasts have been saying, oh, what a great final match. What an honorable send-off. You know when Sting's final match should have been? When he lost his ability to move in 2015 versus Seth Rollins and could not even feel his feet and pretty much had to roll up. Yeah, this happened in 2015. Now here we
He
are.
was like 61.
Yeah. Now, like 9 years later, he's jumping off of everything. He didn't need the money, to my understanding. And I get it. Nobody wants to be forced out before they're ready to go. You see this with athletes all the time. But this is pro wrestling. Like, you didn't have to do it. I didn't like it. And I think somebody needs to put Tony Khan in chat because say what you will about Vince. You know, he may assault you, but he's going to try to keep you safe in the ring. He's going to say you're not going to, you're not going to be able to do so many things. So that's just my opinion. I wasn't a fan of the pay-per-view over at AEW. But keep trying, guys.
It seems like you got something else you got to say, bro.
Who, me?
Yes.
Because I don't want to like step on no toes. So the thing that I did hear about the final match is WWE wouldn't give them clearance to use Sting like old highlights or whatever to give him a tribute. What's that about? I mean, is the competition that stiff? Is AEW that much of a threat that they can't get permission to use the footage? That doesn't make any sense.
It's a good question. To me, that's like an old Vince move. Vince McMahon believed in the only wrestling world was the WWE. So he very rarely cooperated with other companies or anything like that. I'm surprised Triple H didn't allow that footage, but at the same time, they own the footage. So you know what I mean? It's rough to say. Will Pepsi give Coke some time on their commercial to or let them use some of their footage? I don't know. So I would have personally, I think would have been classy to let them use that footage, but
So the only thing that they did was they let the commentators shout out that was Sting's final match
Okay.
this past Monday. So they did that, but I'm with Mars. At the end of the day, it's just footage. You're not going to lose any fans by showing it. And a lot of pro wrestling fans aren't going to be hip to a cat just jumping through glass because it's a spot and I'm supposed to do it and no one's there. Like, that to me, it like you said, it don't make no sense. It's class personified. This is this man's last match, hopefully. And it wouldn't have hurt. Just a small footage. They could have gave you a 15-second clip and called it good. But I also heard that certain wrestlers couldn't go to the event to watch him wrestle his last one.
Didn't go. He was invited and didn't go.
Right, because they just don't want any issues.
I don't know if you remember Diesel, Big Daddy Cool Diesel.
Oh yeah, Kevin Nash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a competition, and at the end of the day, I don't feel there's a lot of goodwill between A&W. I could see them more working with TNA versus working with AEW with their biggest competitor in the United States. But it would have been classy being that the majority of his career was in WCW, and WWE owns that footage. I think it would have been a classy move. But maybe next time. But we're going to move on to the next topic. Before we do, guys, we still are holding the WWE 2K24 contest. If you forgot the rules of it, we don't have an answer. We don't have a winner yet. But to win the game, all you have to do is the first person in one of these comments to quote, and don't give them the answer, Kyle, exactly what Cal Jones said his favorite wrestler was and his catchphrase. It has to be verbatim of what he said on that very, very first episode with Cal Jones. I believe it's episode 2. If you can find it there, the first person that gets it, hit me up, and we're gonna send you a copy of WWE 2K24 for your preferred system, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, whatever you want. So we got a contest going on. We're gonna keep that going all month. The first person to get it wins the game. So let us know. And I played. It's a phenomenal game.
Yeah, I'm about to say I played it too. It's actually pretty good. The graphics are great. I haven't gotten into the weeds of it yet, but so far, me and my son have thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes, good game. They've made a lot of cool improvements. So going to the next story. Paul E. Dangerously. Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman has been announced, and it makes sense, Philadelphia. He is going to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, WrestleMania XL, WrestleMania 40, man. Paul Heyman, ECW. That's probably what Cal remembers from WCW, Dangerous Alliance. Of course, Brock Lesnar's advocate and the original Wise Man. Man, and it feels like he's in his prime right now. But what do you think, man? Do you think Paul Heyman is the best manager of all time?
Yeah, of all time, yeah. And when you think about it, there's only a few managers that you actually think about that you would be like, okay, first ballot Hall of Famer, Jimmy Hart, of course, and then I feel like he was
Bobby the Brain.
Yeah, it's not big. What are we doing, Gerald?
And the late Paul Bearer, all great managers in there, right? But man, Paul Heyman, man, he not only was he a great manager, the stuff he did behind the scenes for wrestling in general makes him one of the best managers of all time. Not only was he the wise man of Roman Reigns, like I say, he managed Brock Lesnar in wrestling, and when he was in the UFC.
We can't say Brock Lesnar anymore. Remember?
Oh, okay. He who will not be named.
There you go. There you go.
And he also was manager to CM Punk, the original Paul Heyman guy. So yeah, man, he got his foothold with a lot of people with the claim to being the best wrestler in the world. So, to me, he is the best manager of all time. Of course, our brother Cal Jones has something to say.
Are we talking just in pro wrestling, or are we talking ever?
Pro wrestling.
How about I say Don King? But first, it's Jimmy Hart. Like, what we doing, Gerald? Like, people still use his catchphrases. He got his own, the mouth of the South. He's everywhere. Paul Heyman, like, I just knew him from infomercials when ECW would come on, or what was it, Channel 99 or whatever. Like, nobody knows Paul Heyman.
That's Spice.
Oh,
I think you just gave yourself away, guys.
Maybe Channel 98. Channel 98. Paul Bear. Was Ted DiBiase like a manager at one time?
Yeah, kind of for the NWO a little bit, and he had the $1 Million Corporation with Stone Cold and Tatanka, and.
But you don't even remember him being a manager. You just talking about the wrestler now.
That's why nobody remembers Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman. Who was better than Paul Bearer? And while we on this subject, Jimmy Hart's the best manager of all time. Bret Hart is my favorite wrestler of all time, but the best of all time is Sting. Best to ever do it. That combined ring entrance with what he actually did in the ring, I don't think is even close. Like, when he came to the ring, he drew your attention. Maybe The Undertaker had a better entrance, but Sting's the best of all time to me.
I agree with 3/4 of what you said. Jimmy Hart, who other than Hulk Hogan, who else did he manage?
Macho Man, right?
No, Macho Man had Miss Elizabeth.
Oh, well, shit. Hulk Hogan, that's enough. He bigger than
Hulk Hogan ain't even the greatest wrestler of all time.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, who's better than Hulk?
It's subjective.
You just answered it.
It changes when I see people. Shit. I forgot about Hulk Hogan. Who really, Joe? Who's better than Hulk Hogan?
As a wrestler, do you got time? Shawn Michaels.
I'm better than Hulk Hogan in the ring, and I ain't never wrestled in my life. He got 4 moves.
Hulk Hogan was pushed to the forefront in the late 80s and early 90s because we needed somebody.
That's Cal Jones.
But you think about it.
The manager outfit right there.
He look like the man when you have a complaint at the casino. He come up, what's wrong?
You see there's a casino behind him.
I know. He go free tickets to Family Feud with Steve Harvey.
Casino.
I was scheming everybody in there. Oh, that's funny.
Listen, Jimmy Hart had Hulk Hogan, but that's where it stopped. And Hulk Hogan was already Hulk Hogan before Jimmy got him. It's fair to say that Jimmy kind of helped Hogan before he started doing his own started doing his own talking for himself before it became Hollywood Hogan. Like, Jimmy Hart is great. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, Jimmy
But
Hart
Paul
had Brutus Beefcake,
Brutus Beefcake.
and he had the Nasty Boys, who three wrestlers that I absolutely hate.
Okay, so nobody. He had Hulk Hogan.
That's enough. Shit. You see how big Hulk Hogan became? He was the biggest wrestler of all time before The Rock.
Well, before The Rock or Stone Cold, yes. But even then, it's fair to say Hulk Hogan was pushed to that because wrestling was coming from the territories where it was coming big time, and Vince and them had to market somebody. Because it's fair to say if Ric Flair wasn't with the uh, WWCW, it's fair to say Ric Flair would have been the biggest wrestler on the planet.
Hold on. I'm gonna
Oh,
click
yeah,
this up.
easy. And we've heard Ric Flair drip. Even Booker T's got a song about him, but no Hulk Hogan songs exist except for Macho Man's diss song, which I might have to take the hit and bring that Macho Man diss song up one day. Be
Oh,
a man, Hulk.
Y'all saying that Ric Flair is bigger than Hulk Hogan all time?
No. What I'm saying is that as far as wrestling ability, Ric Flair is a better wrestler.
But when you're a manager, you're trying to make your person more marketable, right? It's about money more than the actual skill, right?
I mean, pro wrestling managers, they serve lots of purposes. Sometimes they're just to distract. Sometimes they're mouthpieces. You used to see it when a wrestler couldn't work the mic very well. They would put him with the manager. Somebody like Paul Heyman, and I agree with Big Gerald. Paul Heyman is by far the best manager of all time. Not only because he's arguably top 3 in the mic, wrestler or anything. No one quite cuts a promo or sells a match like Paul Heyman. But the little things that he brings as far as character development, as far as actually handling real life situations, being an advocate, like he says, Paul Heyman, clear, above board, best manager of all time, and definitely deserves his Hall of Fame nomination.
And it's almost fair to say that Paul Heyman is with arguably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time as of right now,
Who is that?
Roman Reigns.
Man, exactly. What are we doing? Man, Jimmy Hart was so good that even when they were out of character, he was still walking around like he was Hulk Hogan manager when they be out.
He got shit else to do.
But people comment that as a real, that's how good he was. As a real life character, people looked at him as a
See, Cal Jones,
as a manager.
you're actually in Tampa, so you probably run across Jimmy Hart every other day. So you're a little bit jaded. He seems a lot bigger to you because he's literally next door. But for the rest of the 49 states, Jimmy
Can
Hart.
you make that a poll question and put that on your community wall? Because
I would, yes, let's do that.
We will most
Hey, Carl,
definitely-
make sure you mow your grass.
look at
It's just
you.
your friend Jimmy.
You know everything. Look at you. You know all the emotions and everything.
That was the only thing he did.
he needed, man. All Don King do was just wave the flag back there.
Now Don is different, man. Don was up there slick talking to everybody, whether they look like this or like this. Don King would go get over. That's a whole different stratosphere.
That dude, the mouth of the whole South.
Not the mouth.
Yeah, back during Jim Crow.
Oh, here we go. Oh, no, sit down. What are we doing, man?
Do y'all remember when they had like all those wrestlers living in like that real world house, and it was like the mouth of the South, Roddy Piper? Oh man, I gotta find it. I gotta get some clips from that. We got to move on because we got a lot more topics to discuss. But I definitely agree with you, Big Gerald. Cal Jones is jaded, like I said. Jimmy Hart's probably in his kitchen right now making drinks. So now we're gonna go to wrestling across the world. We talked about it on the last episode, but it looks like it's official with a referee with a whistle that the former Tama Tonga, son of Haku, is headed to the WWE. I don't know if he'll be in the bloodline. I don't know if he'll be in NXT. Looking at his age, it seems like he would be straight to the main roster. What do you think about this pickup? I know we didn't get Mercedes Moné and we didn't get Will Ospreay, but this is a pretty good pickup for WWE. What do you guys think about that?
Who the hell is
Dude,
Aku?
what?
That's what I love.
What the fuck is that?
What?
What is it, Ichiro or something? Yeah, he just picked up Ichiro from
Ichiro? He talking about anime now? Haku was one of the baddest wrestlers on the planet.
when? I seen it when I was young.
Haku is Ming, right? He's also
Ming.
yeah. Do you remember Ming?
Oh, I do
You
remember
mean-
me. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yes.
Death Grip.
Yeah.
All right, to me, this is a good move for WWE because as we move forward, you're gonna have to do a lot of stuff to keep the bloodline relevant. Like it's one of the greatest stories that they ever told as far as from a wrestling standpoint. But as you kind of got out of the Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens stuff, and him turning on the bloodline, and of course the Uso brothers separating, you got to do stuff to keep it fresh. Roman Reigns is a very polarizing figure. This may be his best character yet. Bringing in The Rock in order to put something on it, and now The Rock having to go into more of a director role after the scandal. Pretty much, you're looking at, okay, how do we keep it fresh? Who do we bring in? How do we get us more life? Bringing in more family members. Of course, they're setting it up for The Rock and Roman to go head to head as the true head of the table after the whole snap for WrestleMania. And I know we'll talk about that later. Adding more people to it to pick who's going to be on whose side. I think it's going to be big. I think this is, like I said, a big pickup. And I'm hoping maybe one of the Fatu brothers end up in the WWE as well, as their contract is up, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it was an interesting comment that The Rock made on SmackDown, where he said if they lose the first night at WrestleMania or whatever night they're going to have their tag team match, no interference from the bloodline. What a perfect time. But he didn't say the bloodline. He said you won't see Jimmy, you won't see Solo, you won't see The Rock. He didn't say the bloodline. So I know the Samoan Werewolf is out there, one of the Fatus. I know Booker T is working with, I think, Rikishi's other son. Is it Rikishi's son?
Mm-hmm.
And then we got...
Well, wait, is that... Yeah.
I think it's Rikishi's other son. No, it's a manga son.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot of other potential bloodline members. I wouldn't be surprised at WrestleMania we saw this new version of the bloodline show up and make the story go on for another 4 or 5 years if they so wanted to. But
you got to put context to it. You got to put context to it, though, because again, even if they bring the extra person, who are they going to turn on? I think the thing with Cody is now the WWE, and especially in the ring, they're going to let the story be finished. And so when the other person show up, Roman think that they're going to help him. And then the flip side, Roman's going to either catch a super kick or whatever signature move they got. Cody's going to win, and The Rock's going to come out, and he's going to don the beads because he, in his mind, is a true head of the table. He's already going to be running the WWE. Why not run the strongest faction in the WWE? It writes itself. So, Solo and Jimmy being loyal to Roman, hopefully, this other person comes in and he's behind The Rock. Maybe, like you said, his daughter, who's also the manager of NXT, she's behind her dad. It writes itself. So it can go for at least another year.
Easily. And I think that's what they do. They turn on Roman, give him that super beat down. We don't see him for 6 months. And when he comes back, he's over. But that's just us. I know Cal hates all of that story. What do you think?
All right. I want y'all to remember this. Here's the downfall of WWE is about to start. All the McMahons and everybody, they're headed out. So you got those familiar names that are not there. They're not developing stars. Like the way that they went after Cody Rhodes and wanted him to be, I guess, the next big thing. There's nobody's coming up. It's happening with action movies. they rode the Rock so long, and what's the guy name? Jason Statham. Just the same 4 or 5 people that they roll out. Tom Cruise. It's hard to make action movies now. You don't got no stars. Mars, I told you this some years ago with Marvel. I said, y'all better start remaking these movies. They be like, oh, this is a Batman Mama movie. This her story. I'm like, all right, now y'all about to water that down. Y'all not making new characters. Y'all just watering stuff down. And now here they go. You watered down this storyline for 4 or 5 years. Now you're going to try to push it for another 3 years. The Rock, they came back to try to drop the Rock. He's in his 50s. We're watching 70-year-old people still wrestle. We're watching people in their 60s, and they're still drawing numbers. It's not good. I mean, look at the NBA. When LeBron leaves, they got a whole stable of people that's ready to take his place when they leave. The NFL, everybody else developed their stars. WWE got to get better at that. UFC even does a great job of it. They always like promoting the next up and coming person. But if they keep this up, I'm trying to tell you, I think they're about to fall off. Because what's the oldest daughter name? Stephanie. When all those people start fading out and you bring these new people in, I think people are going to turn away because they're used to those people.
So I think
happened during the Attitude Period, or right before the Attitude Period, when Hulk Hogan left and they kind of focused on your favorite wrestler, and wrestling kind of had a lull. And then they had the Attitude Era and the NWO and ECW and everything went. So it goes in stages. But on paper, they've never been more successful financially, or ratings will never be like this, like it was in the 90s, because people have so many different avenues to look at entertainment. But as far as just market share, they've never been more successful.
And one of the things you brought up something when you very first did this podcast with us, when we talked about them transitioning to Netflix. One of the avenues, now that I think about it, that makes this where they can, get out of that rut if they ever get into it, is the fact that they already have their developmental system, even though they don't like calling it that. Once they go to Netflix, they now can promote that on like USA or something like that. So those up and coming wrestlers have a bigger platform, so the casual fan like yourself can see them, because there's a lot of names in NXT that are about to come that a lot of people know the name, the Lash Legends, the dude Carmelo Hayes, the Trick Williams of the world. Like you said, the casual fan don't really get to see him because NXT comes on Tuesdays. There's other stuff to watch, and their pay-per-views come on weekly. They don't get their own stand on. But as they transition Raw, especially to Netflix, USA is going to start housing more of the WWE stuff. That's when those up and coming wrestlers like the Nikita Lyons and all of them, they'll get those avenues to shine. It may work out. And, the thing about the WWE, they garnered all this talent during the pandemic and afterwards because they didn't know what the landscape of wrestling was going to be. And so now that they have such what they call a full stable, they got to kind of weed out, okay, well, who's going to be the next big thing? Who can we get rid of? That's why some of these wrestlers that are being released, you kind of scratch your head like, well, dog, they did real good. But it's like you said, they've been wrestling so long, and we know them by name, like the Dolph Zigglers and all that stuff, to where they're moving them out the way to make things like Grayson Waller, Austin Theory. Those people are gonna start taking over, like you said, when wrestling comes. We're just hoping that, just like us, the wrestlers that are above them will help them pave the way. Because even though he's a little older, LA Knight may be the biggest thing that come from these new batches of wrestlers. So we'll see. Like you said, you have a point. WWE always do this, but I believe that if they work this right, they have a way to actually sell this new batch of wrestling fans these names that they haven't heard of.
I think y'all make good points, but this is the issue. Vince McMahon has the same issue that Jerry Jones has, that the dude for the Raiders has. He made himself the face of the company. So when you think of WWE, you think of him, Mark Cuban with the Mavs. I just don't think it's going to work. I think he leave because everybody associates WWE with Vince McMahon. I don't think he's going to be successful without him. I think he set this up to be like this. So I think it's now called about to start, but I hope that I'm wrong. I want to see better, but every time we film an episode, we talk about like 4 or 5 people. And then Gerald made a good point. The older wrestlers, guess what they're not doing? Stepping out the way so other people can come up and pave a way. So when you got the older generation not stepping up and stamping the younger generation, you're going to have a lull because they still don't want to step out the way for the company to grow. Everybody's thinking about them.
Yeah. Rock ideally should have passed that torch 20 years ago. Ideally, but that's neither here nor there. So let's pull up the net split because let me tell you, this guy, if he's not a world champion in the next 2 years, he's just so damn entertaining. Let's take a look at this match.
He rips his shirt.
Oh, no. So much for the protection. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I can feel that out here.
But wait, there's more.
Why would you get into a chop battle with Gunther out of all people? Come on.
Oh, because I wanted to make you proud, Mommy.
Let me have a look.
No,
Jesus. What are you doing in here still? Leave.
get out of here. Go give me some tendies.
Exactly, with Reg.
The hell are y'all watching?
That's Rey Mysterio's son. That's Dominik.
Who's that lady? Is that a man or a lady?
No, that was Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley.
That's a lady.
How old was that dude? Like 40?
How 26?
Something like that. That's who it was.
That's Rhea right there. Yeah. Mommy.
I like it. Cal
Me too.
can make that face, but I think there's plenty of us that are on my side.
Listen, he ain't seen none of her matches yet. I tell you what you do. Have him go back and watch her and Nia Jax when they fought in Australia the other night. He'll change his mind.
Mm-hmm. Just her pinning maneuvers.
What the old heads used to tell us is jiggle when it wiggle.
Oh.
It
could go either way.
We about to get canceled. Ladies, let me get you drink.
Please don't say that to Dwight Howard.
Oh no.
Oh God.
They ain't nothing up his alley.
But
literally.
Standing is dominant, man. What did you think about that match? Did you see it, big girl?
Gunther versus Dominik Mysterio. If he plays into this role where the audience purely hates him, he has a career forever. Because the stuff that he did to his father, Rey Mysterio, the fans will never get behind him. He's still developing in the ring as he wrestles. He's just good enough. And the fact that they put him in the Judgment Day saves him from being something that he would struggle to be right now, which is a solo act. I think he's found a niche where he could just say something and people automatically boo him. They don't expect him to win matches unless there's someone to interfere. And the dude he was wrestling, he's in his mid to late 20s too, and he is a phenomenal technical wrestler. Gunther may be one of the best technical wrestlers on the planet.
There's no maybe about it. He's definitely in the top five. No doubt about it. I don't think anybody can argue that, except maybe Cal. Cal feel like, who is this fool in the red draw? Hate him.
Big ass Randy Orton. His dad is Rey Mysterio.
Dom,
Yeah.
He can't hold a candle to Rey Mysterio.
Oh, Ray proved that last year. He beat him soundly in the ring.
He get DNA test.
he might be.
There's a whole story arc behind that about him possibly being Eddie Guerrero's son.
Now that looks more like that I can see.
Well, they might have. I think
Can I see him again?
Tom on a pole match back in 04 or 05 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he said, "Can he see him again?"
You want to see Dom again? I got.
Yeah, I want to see if he's like Eddie Guerrero.
I ain't got Eddie, but I got Dom.
Why would you get into a chop battle with Gunther out of all people? Come on.
Oh, because I wanted to make you proud, Mommy.
Let me have a look.
No,
Jesus. What are you doing in here still? Leave.
get out of here. Go give me some tendies.
Exactly, with Reg.
She's like,
The disgust in Cal's face for me.
It's
I was like,
Undertaker.
"Who was Cindy?"
But it's definitely Eddie Guerrero's son.
Oh God.
Can we do an episode on that? Or a segment or something? It's Eddie Guerrero's
We
son.
can't. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you still watching wrestling then, but when he was a kid, there was a whole thing about that between Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. That was one of the things that that was really Eddie's son. So it's weird that you say that.
That's where they get the mommy poppy, because back in the day, Eddie Guerrero used to have a shirt that says "I'm your poppy," because he was really dominant as father. So it is interesting that a somewhat novice can come in and be like, "Hold up, that ain't just kid." So that brings us to the main event topic. What main event Mania night 1 and night 2? It used to be very simple. You win the Royal Rumble, your main event. No way in hell Bailey and Io main event at this point. So I have some footage. Who do you guys think should main event night 1 and night 2?
If you smell what the bloodline is cooking.
An absolutely stunning turn of events tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. Bad news, The Rock just acknowledged Roman Reigns as his tribal chief.
I think I'm gonna call The Rock. How about Diarrhea Dwayne? Diarrhea Dwayne, he's been running his mouth, and every single thing that comes out of his mouth has the consistency of wet baby poop.
I'm with you on that one. Go ahead, Charles.
Well, come on now. To be fair, he can't say shit on TV. He can't say it. He just can't do it yet. That's why they're going to Netflix. So all bets is off. I will say this, opposing to the question, that has to be the main event of night 1. Like you said, Io and Bailey, even once she won the Royal Rumble, it just seems like everybody knew she was gonna pick Io. They would have never put her against Rhea. Like, why do that to Bailey this late in her career? And it won't hold up. What I'll say is the tag team with Seth and Cody versus The Rock and Roman Reigns, that'll go night 1, where either team can win and it won't matter. The whole goal of night 1 is both champions, something happened to it, they get a nick here, they're tired from the next night, because night 2, they didn't have to both put their titles on the line. Drew and Seth could have originally probably main event at night 1, but this story arc with Drew and Seth, and I think they alluded to it on Monday Night Raw, it's just kind of, he's not even thinking about Drew McIntyre at this point. So if he's not thinking about Drew, the fans aren't thinking about Drew and him. He's basically saying, I'm not worried about you taking my title, you're irrelevant, which is kind of messed up. But I think that right now, the bloodline thing, you're trying to keep it fresh and relevant. Also, they have to make dissension between The Rock and Roman, and WrestleMania is now 3 weeks away. So this will be night 1. Both champions will lose their belt night 2, and that'll set up story arcs moving forward. I firmly believe that Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch, I don't even think that that's going to be a match that we think it is. I think that's going to end up being a triple threat match, which is why they keep putting Liv Morgan into it.
Be a fatal 4-way. I think it's going to be Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, Becky
and Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when you think about it right now, the way it's set up, the only matches that you're truly looking forward to is the Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody, and then Cody versus Roman for the belt. Like, there's no other matches right now as WrestleMania is constructed that you are looking forward to seeing.
Yeah. Ain't no star.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue that, and I agree with what you said as far as the tag match making night one. That gives both champions an opportunity to come in the night two dinged up. I think you start off WrestleMania night two with Drew versus Seth. So Drew wins that match. I have CM Punk as the special referee in that as well. Drew wins that match. Cody gets mad. Seth gets mad that he's lost. We see shenanigans. We get Cody winning, and then Seth goes over to SmackDown while Roman takes his break and challenges Cody for that Universal title when he turns heel on Cody. That's my prediction.
So let me not throw a wrench in your prediction, but you have to remember, I don't know if I think Seth re-enters himself and goes out because remember, he has to shoot that next Star Wars movie where he is the main villain. So it could be possible, but that him and Roman are both out at this time. And there is another way that you could push that belt going forward. If Drew beats Seth for the World Heavyweight Championship, remember, we got Senior Money in the Bank who has not cashed in. It's possible that Drew McIntyre been doing all this shady stuff, getting the folks, and as he wins the belt, it get cashed in and he loses it to Damian Priest. There's a whole bigger storyline. Seth's gone, and now it's Drew versus Damian. The fall of the Judgment Day is at hand. It writes itself, but I know that Roman's going to be out for a while, of course, and Seth will have to be out as well because I know they haven't been having to film him yet. I knew they were going to try to have him out because he hurt himself, but now that he's medically cleared, something has to happen to where he has to get that time off.
That makes sense. Well, go ahead, Kyle.
I can make this the biggest event of the whole year with one thing. Bigger than Super Bowl. The Rock screws Cody up and still takes the main. That will throw it. Like biggest story, a real heel. The Rock should screw Cody over and take the main event. After everybody Cody was going to finish his story. That would be everywhere. Twitter, everywhere. I would even watch it if he screwed him over and do it. Don't do it night one. Do it night two, like right at the beginning. After everybody show up, it's still gonna be the Rock coming out for the main event. Just screw him over some way. Don't be like put no stipulation or nothing. Just say I'm the boss. I'm doing this tonight. If you don't like it, you fire. Just screw him over. Biggest story.
Oh wow. Hey, the internet will lose its mind.
Yeah, that might be the best story though. Low key. I'm not even gonna hold you. Check out my corporate rock shirt coming soon.
Look like Mr. Clean on them roids.
Hey, you saw his wet statue in London. He was light right next to white. I forgot the Rock was half black. Cal, I'm not mad at that story, man. You might be a better booker than half the people in WWE and definitely everybody in AEW.
But think about he's already hated for the Hawaii thing. So why not just come out and play off of that? And just be a bigger boss than he already is. They already think he'll sell out. He only come back when he's trying to promote a movie. So he can come back and just say everything like, yeah, I'm promoting the movie. I'm back. He can just turn total heel and be hated in real life. It'll be the biggest story in like years. I'll start that.
I mean, he could really be the new Vince McMahon, minus all the SA and all that other stuff coming out and screwing people and say, "Hey, I learned from the best." I was playing for the team, now I own the team. That's a perfect story. But then owning the team, he forgets where he comes from, and this becomes just as bad as the corporate masters that he had before. We cooking.
I like that.
Cooking right now. Oh man, that's perfect. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be some interesting matches. Like Cal said, there's still a lot of things. I know Jimmy versus Jay is still on the table. They'll be doing something with Gunther.
So you bring up valid points, and so let me ask y'all this question: who wants to see Jimmy versus Jay?
I don't.
Nobody.
Not really.
But let's look at another story. There's nothing for Gunther to do right now, and Jay got screwed out of his match where he pretty much had Gunther beat for the Intercontinental title. What if we have a triple threat for the title with Gunther versus Jimmy and Jay? Since Jimmy doesn't have any goal for the bloodline, could do it. He already don't like his brother, and Gunther thinks he's the better wrestler out of them both. Man, that's a match I'll watch because, like I said, I know Cal ain't seen a lot of Gunther matches, but that man in the match, man, at his size, he does things in the match. You like, dog, man. It reminds you of old school wrestling. I'd love for us to all watch a Gunther match with Cal watching it, just to see a good. Yeah, man. I think now that's a match. That's a match.
And it protects Gunther because you can have Jimmy go over Jay or Jay go over Jimmy by pinning each other without pinning Gunther, and then allow Gunther to go to the world title anyway without ever actually losing his belt. That's genius. So that leaves a couple of people off the card. Sami Zayn, what are we doing?
Nothing.
Kevin Owens, what are we doing?
Nothing.
We know LA Knight, AJ Styles.
Put them all in the Andre the Giant battle.
Logan Paul, we got to do something with him.
Oh, let's see. I think Logan Paul and Kevin Owens can finish their story. No, Logan Paul versus Randy Orton for the U.S. title at WrestleMania.
Okay.
He screwed Randy out of facing Seth for his belt. You know, they having something to do. LA Knight, you have him win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal because he's still white hot with all the fans. It gives him something to do without throwing to the curb. Him and AJ Styles, like I said, is like Jimmy and Jay. Nobody wants to see that because here's the thing. No offense to LA Knight, and AJ Styles is a great wrestler. No one wants to see you fight LA Knight. Nobody.
I think they missed an opportunity of having LA Knight not get involved with The Rock. I would have loved to see those two battle on the mic. That would have been awesome. R-Truth and The Miz, I see them going for the tag belt, maybe in a six tag match, something like that.
It helps. It now, but that also helps with the dissension of the Judgment Day. I mean, Rhea Ripley has carried that team as far as she can, and they had to interject R-Truth just for them to stay kind of fresh on people's minds. Like I said, Rhea Ripley probably was been one of the most influential wrestlers the past year and a half, and to have the Judgment Day lose their belts to R-Truth and The Miz, not only does that clear the way for what is going to cash in and win the belt off Drew, but also helps with the dissension of the bloodline and letting Rhea Ripley go her own way. Maybe Dominik still stays in the corner, maybe not, but you know, at this point, you got to ask yourself, what is the WWE really doing with Finn Balor? And the answer is nothing.
You said The Miz?
Yes.
From the real world?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna holler at
He's still
in 2011, Miz was one of the hottest wrestlers out.
Absolutely. He was main event at WrestleMania 27, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. But that's that's why you're saying like they have to start paving the way for fresh new talent, because if not, you're holding your head on people that was in the real world or people that was wrestling in TNA back when we were teenagers, because R-Truth is in his 50s.
Still breakdancing. People living weird. What's up? R-Truth's a national treasure. I rock.
What was his name in TNA? I forget.
It was Ron Killings.
Yeah, Ron Killings.
He went by Israel. He was tag team partners with your former Dallas Cowboy quarterback, Cal Jones.
We don't have to bring that up. We don't have to bring that up.
Oh man, but we are almost done on time. We can continue this conversation forever, and we will. The podcast is going to go on forever, so we will continue the conversation. But I go right ahead with you.
Fun fact for Cal Jones: you remember the Chris Rock movie Head of State?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when he was doing all that promotion and he was going around and he was in that wrestling ring while all those wrestlers started stomping him out?
Oh yeah.
R-Truth was the black dude in the movie. That's how long ago he played wrestling.
I've got legit pictures on my phone of R-Truth hanging out with Tupac. I'm going to show them on the next episode. But that's how old R-Truth is. He's got like a blonde Gumby. He's him and Tupac and Easy chilling together. And he got some new music on Spotify right now if you're interested. So check that out.
People over there, what's up?
Just say what's up. All right. So before we go, let the gentlemen let you guys share where they can find you on social media and what you got going on. We'll start with Big Girl.
Of course, y'all know y'all can find me at Gerald Williams on Facebook, Instagram, Leroy J1117. Of course, you know me and my people at Christian Mingle, we always gonna be going up. And I am the wise man to the bearded one. You can catch me on the Two Horseman Podcast. Cal Jones gonna have me on one of his sports shows because I can't wait to talk about sports right now. Because baby, they losing their mind with the way they got things going. But y'all will catch me on that soon, man. We're gonna keep pushing out this content. We see y'all loving the wrestling podcast. Man, there's so many things coming up. I wish we could get together and just kind of live stream us watching one of the pay-per-views. That's something we'll probably do down the road, but you guys keep tuning in, stay tuned. We love all y'all, man.
Absolutely. Cal, it's on you, my brother.
Blow the Whistle Sports. Especially this weekend, because we got a lot of Cowboys news. Tyron Smith being let go. Tony Pollard probably going to be let go. Dak Prescott getting signed to a stupid deal. Michael Parsons is going to be a linebacker at D.E.N. That's going to determine how you get paid. A lot of Cowboys news. Jerry Jones still healthy, so we're going to talk about that.
Long as we get Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley, it don't matter to me. We need a running back.
He said what was going on then. So we're going to see. Also, I need to give Mars we got to talk about this and Diddy stuff. I don't want to. But too much going on. Producers coming out saying that they saw stuff. I need to talk about this. I got a lot to say.
So we might have to do an emergency down after dark and talk about this freak meal and Diddy stuff, because there's been some hilarious stuff going on that element. So we're going to get that content to you this week. And guys, if you want to support the channel, the best way to do so is with the merch. We got brand new merch on the website. You can get fly. We got girl shirts. We got Cal Jones shirts. We got Sportman shirts. They only come in medium, but we've got all types of new merch. So guys, please don't hesitate to go over there and get yourself a shirt and show love to the network. Thank you so much for making this wrestling program best. I want you guys to keep tuning in to the live and the recorded episodes. And we're definitely going to do one of those live stream or pay-per-view, at least a couple of matches before Cal taps out. He's like, I can't take this shit no more. I can see it coming.
Yeah, definitely.
But you know what we need y'all to do? We need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, and do me a favor, turn those notifications on. So when we have these live episodes, we can get you in there, because these live episodes can drop at any time, not like your regular program. So we want you in there to cooperate because it's your show. But guys, for the Two Horsemen and our partner in crime, Big Cal Jones Sports. My man,
The manager.
And
the manager.
Right. He's Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South.
Tune in every Wednesday.
We're going to send him one of those megaphones. Need some new people. Maybe we'll talk. Maybe we'll put them on some NXT so you can see some of those superstars. We got some future superstars in WWE. But guys, that is our time for the Two Horseman Podcast. We're going to end this episode like we end every episode. How would you like to do the honors?
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever was.
And Gerald, hit them with what we always say.
And as it always goes out to say, Hulk Hogan, we come for you, nigga.
Coming for you, nigga. Sorry, Booker, we're never gonna let it die. Coming for you, nigga. We out this piece. Love y'all.